Hi, Mary from Reviewer's Diary. You know, long before I reviewed makeup, and long before I got all this stuff, long before life became so complicated now that I have 2 jobs, I used to read, and I used to review the books I read. I used to join these challenges that were up to 50 books per year, which I could easily do. In fact, if you look at my website, you can see some of the years that I've done. This year, all year, I think I've read 1 book. Yeah, I believe it was 1 book. I want to start a challenge today, and I would like people out there who like to read to join me. I have to read like the textbooks that go with my class, but I'm not going to count those. You know, you can't teach it if you haven't read the book. Instead, what I want to do is I want to finish 4 books by December 4th. So 4 by December 4th. Kind of catchy, isn't it? You know, December 4th is, let's see, it's not even September yet. Next week it's September. So I'd have all of September, October, and November to read 4 books by December 4th. You know, I used to read a book every 3 or 4 days. Now I fall asleep. Or I'm an idiot and I play phone games. So I'm going to make this challenge and I tag you to join me. So please do. Pick out 4 books. You don't have to show them all tonight, but in your mind, you should, have at least 4 books that you think you might want to read. Start with one you really want to read, one that doesn't put you to sleep. I have already started reading this. Everybody knows I've started reading this because I've talked about this book. When I'm wide awake, I enjoy it, but I fall asleep with it on my chest at night, so I'm not getting very far, but I want to finish this book. Another book I want to finish is this Rogue Angel book, Blood Cursed. Now, this is a series. It says that the author is Alex Archer, but it's actually a group of different authors, and they task different authors to write each book. They reuse some of the authors for different books. You could definitely see a style, like one author had her killing everybody with the sword. I wasn't really crazy about that book. The very first one was the best one. So if you're interested at all in reading the Alex Archer Rogue Angel books, start with the book Destiny. There's a magical sword that just happens to be Joan of Arc's sword, and she is able to wield it. This is not a medieval tale or anything like that. This is modern day times. Now, this looks like I got really far, except I fell asleep and I wasn't very far in the book. I use all kinds of stuff for bookmarks. I don't like dog ears because they destroy books. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm truly a book collector / bibliophile. I mean, it's like I have so many books. And in fact, take a look at my bookshelf. Now, have you ever seen so many books in your entire life? I've read about half of those. I don't keep everything that I read. I don't continue to read stuff that I don't like. There are so many books and so little time that if I start reading a book, like say I start reading one of these Rogue Angel books, I have yet to find one I didn't like enough to keep reading. But every now and then I'll pick up a book and within the first 20 pages I go, this is really stupid, and I stop reading it. A lot of times if people have gotten their forensics wrong in a crime novel and I know more than they do and I look and it's like, that could never happen. It kind of ruins it for you. But there are some books that you read that live on in your mind forever. books that you know that are so good that you would want to read them again. So that's the only way to find those, is to actually crack open the book and actually start reading. It's very easy to get out of the habit of reading, but writers out there, you can't be a writer if you're not reading. I'm not saying that you need to read writing instruction books. What you need to do is you need to read. You need to be literate. It's really good for everyone to read. Older people, it actually uses brain cells that are kind of sit around and die if you don't use them. So now, off my soapbox, I tag you to join me. I also have this e-reader. This is a Nook tablet, and I absolutely love it. But look what's up here. Games. I have whiled away hours of time with silly games. So I'm still going to play them now and then because I've gotten to like level 400 in a couple of them. But I also have a full library. This is not even all my books. I have 300 books on this Nook. So you think it might be time to read? I think so. By the way, I do get free books through NetGalley. So one thing with NetGalley, it's NetGalley.com, is you need to have a site that you review books on. Whether it's your own website, whether it's on Goodreads, Amazon, you need to be a book reviewer. You apply to go on the program, you ask for a couple books, and they start you off with yeses on like 3 or 4 books. You download those to your e-reader. You have a limited amount of time to read them. And then you need to review them. And when you start to review them, because one of the things you have to do is you go on, after you finish the book, you go on, you rate it, and you write a comment, and they store it in their system, and they give that feedback to the publishers. A lot of authors use NetGalley just to publicize their novels. So I've read some really spectacular books through NetGalley. But you need to review. Now that is how you get free books for your e-reader, because they can be expensive. But they also go off of your e-reader after a certain period of time. I think that it is like 50 days you have to read and review a book before it disappears from your e-reader. So there's no reason that people can't read. Some of you have big collections at home and you're not reading your books. So I challenge you to join me. This is Mary with 4 by December 4th. I hope to finish more than that. So that is my Project Pan book. And I invite you to please join me. Happy reading. Have a beautiful evening. Good night.